People make mistakes all the time, but forgetting those mistakes can seem impossible. Finn's story arc in Adventure Time is one of the most potent ones for learning forgiveness. He goes from a relatively inexperienced boy, an adventurer who just seems to be a regular goofy protagonist in a kids show, to one of the most mature and fleshed out characters in all of TV. But during this journey, even he makes mistakes. One of the most notable instances happen after Finn is rejected by Princess Bubblegum one last time, which is when he turns to Flame Princess for love. They hit it off, their romance is passionate, but it's also immature. This is a version of Finn who still doesn't understand how the world works. And that version will also make the biggest mistake of his life. It starts out normally enough, as Finn and Flame Princess are hanging out, but they're soon interrupted by Ice King.
Hey, you two should get a room!
Fiery, Flame Princess flies up to confront Ice King and the two begin to duke it out. Finn is amazed.
Whoa.
It's not what you and I would consider arousal, but in Finn's mind, it's the most amount of love he's ever felt. He even has a dream inspired by the battle between Ice King and Flame Princess. And just like that, he hatches a plan to get Flame Princess to fight Ice King again.
I have to get Flame Princess to beat down Ice King again.
Not out of love for her, but just for himself, to get a little shot of that feeling again, that amusement, that excitement. It starts off simply enough, just a little lie in order to make the two fight again.
I think he's like making fun of you.
What?
Making Flame Princess get very angry. But that's not even the worst part, since Finn's true betrayal comes later, where he destroys every foundation their relationship was built upon. Finn writes a fake, hurtful letter from each side, sending them to each other, and he takes it way too far. Every insecurity Flame Princess has, everything that she fears, he uses it against her, just for another taste of that high.
Dear Flame Princess, you're just the worst. Your hair is bad, your feet smell like face cheese, blah, 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 blah. Let us meet up and fight Tommy. Sincerely, Ice King.
And that leads to disaster. When you betray trust in a relationship like this, forgiveness isn't guaranteed. And that's where Finn goes wrong. Even after people he loved got hurt because of him, he thinks he can fix it.
Okay, I can fix this. I can make it right.
Just apologize and things will go back to normal, right? Tell the truth and his love with Flame Princess will be rekindled. And so he does. And when Finn finally confesses and admits what he's done, FP doesn't hear an apology. She hears a justification for why he hurt her.
Cosmic Owl was wah wah, wah wah, wah.
The truth is that when trust like this is broken, those who loved us still love us, but they can't understand what and why we did what we did, not foreseeing how it would impact them. Are we truly that heartless to them when they loved us? The connection is shattered between them, and everything changes. Flame Princess isn't mad, she's just broken, and she can't forgive him.
Shh. I should have known. That letter said things in it that only you would know. Personal things, Finn. And you used them against me. I thought you were the one person I could... I need some time alone.
But how does Finn respond to all this? He doesn't accept it, and he doesn't understand why things just don't return to normal.
I said I was sorry.
In The Red Throne, we once again see this immature version of Finn, a version that thinks all he has to do is say sorry and everything will be fixed. Flame Princess is dethroned and seeks out Finn for help, but when she tells him the help she needs is only platonic, he doesn't seem convinced.
We're all business.
Of course.
He still believes somehow that the relationship can just return to how it was before he betrayed her. All it takes is forgiveness, and that should come pretty easily if he shows her how he's changed. He's learned a bit too since his last apology, because he's not trying to justify what he did. But simply saying you've changed isn't enough.
Trying to improve myself. Not dating anybody or anything, just getting a little me time. Being the best Finn I can be.
When you remain in a relationship with someone who hurt you, you have to truly believe that they've changed for the better, or are actively doing so. And that doesn't happen overnight. If you don't believe that, you'll instead live in constant fear of them hurting you again. So even though Finn tries to show that he's changed, his actions of scooting closer to Flame Princess and trying to reignite the relationship by using his apologies shows that he hasn't.
Never!
Yeah, it's because you secretly still have feelings for me.
No!
But I'm sure you're wondering, if forgiveness can't be bought through apologies, how can we truly make up for what we did? we've all made mistakes. We all want forgiveness. We all have that one person whom we hurt and whom we desperately want to fix our relationship with. So how do you do it? The answer to this is incredibly simple, but also incredibly profound, and we find it out in Bun Bun. In this episode, we get to see a version of Finn and of Flame Princess who are older. They're more mature. And when Finn finishes a delivery to the Flame Kingdom, Flame Princess offers to hang out.
Finn, wait! You don't have to just run off like that. We can hang out if you got time.
Really?
But now that he's grown, not just physically but also emotionally, Finn finally realizes what he did wrong. And he apologizes again. But this isn't another ploy to win her back. This time, it actually comes from the heart.
When we broke up, I said sorry, but I didn't fully understand exactly what I did wrong. I get it now. I shouldn't have manipulated you.
This apology is different. This time, Finn doesn't expect forgiveness. He doesn't even try to ask for it. Instead, he's apologizing selflessly, putting aside any ego or defensiveness and admitting what he should have all those years ago.
That was a really, really messed up thing to do, and I'm truly sorry.
He messed up. And Flame Princess can tell that this time, the apology is different.
You've grown up a lot, man. I forgive you.
There's no new rekindling of their romance, but there doesn't have to be. You can't fix everything. You can't expect the person you've hurt to forgive you. You just have to apologize and grow from it. Growth is the one thing that can change things. And even then, it might not fix things, but you have to accept that. Guilt is another thing, but it doesn't help, and hoping that things will simply go back to the way they were before shows immaturity. Finn and Flame Princess will never end up together, but they're still able to be friends again, because Flame Princess saw that Finn truly changed and recognized his mistake. But what's even harder than having someone else forgive you is being able to forgive yourself. If anything, it's one of the hardest things you'll ever have to do, even harder than growing and accepting what you've done wrong. Once you've come to terms with the fact that you do have flaws and that those flaws can hurt other people, it can be hard to ever see yourself as a good person. That's the next lesson Finn has to learn about forgiveness. In Reboot, we see this firsthand in Finn, and it's in this episode that Fern first appears, and Finn's biggest regret begins to take root.
What? Come back!
It all starts innocently enough. Fern initially believes himself to be Finn. The next time we see Fern is in Two Swords, where Finn seems put off by the existence of that grass guy. Neither Fern or Finn realize yet that there are two sides of the same coin.
What's weird, though, is that grass guy. Kind of rubs me the wrong way, that one.
But as we'll soon find out, Fern is a version of Finn that has been trapped since Season 6. One that didn't manage to grow in the ways that Finn did. And right away, Finn seems to have trouble accepting his other self. And by that, I mean they instantly start to fight. Here, we're already drawing some pretty fascinating insights into what self-forgiveness really takes.
Sousa! Hey! Stop! You leave her alone, you weirdo! Susan's my friend!
Instantly, Finn blames Grass Guy for what he did to Susan and how he hurt her. But Fern and Finn are almost the same person, and this is the catch. He's blaming himself. Of course, he doesn't realize this at first.
Yeah! Show us your true form, demon!
Yeah, show us!
But this is also a great parallel to forgiveness. When we perhaps disassociate, we're creating distance between ourselves and our actions. It's safer to project our guilt and rejection onto something external rather than admit that we're to blame or that we have faults. Because when you admit it, you have to deal with the most difficult piece of all, and that's forgiving yourself. Just like in real life, sometimes we need somebody to tell us the truth.
No, he's not even from a different timeline. Finn, he's just you.
Finn can only begin to move on when he recognizes Fern for who he truly is. In Three Buckets, Finn finally realizes this, but only when it's too late.
It's been your home long enough. It's Fern's turn.
Fern has already made up his mind. The only way for him to be recognized as a true Finn is to replace the other one. This act wasn't out of hatred. It wasn't even intentional, but it was an act of survival either way. But when Finn overpowers Fern and accidentally kills him, there's one question that lingers in his head. Can I ever forgive myself for what I've done? In The Wild Hunt, we see Finn grapple with this idea. After effectively killing a piece of himself, he has trouble coming to terms with it.
Don't kill me, Finn.
Here I go.
He can't do it. There are multiple parts of forgiving yourself. First, acknowledging that you also have flaws and understanding them, even learning from them. After that, you have to make amends to move forward, which is exactly what stage he's currently in.
I'm you.
But how can you bring yourself to make those amends? The guilt stems from two sources. For one, you feel guilty. Guilty that this was ever a piece of you to begin with, having done the damage that you did. But even deeper, you also feel guilty for changing. You feel like you don't need redemption.
Guilt paralyzes me. I can't seem to final blow anybody.
When you can't come to terms with this, you can't move on. And so you have to face it. You have to accept what you did, even if you still see the consequences or the fallout.
Sounds like he was a bad version of yourself that you had to destroy in order to become an even tighter version of yourself.
But that's the catch of forgiveness. It doesn't always happen in one moment. Just like for Finn, who spent time battling with his understanding of Fern and Flame Princess, things don't get better right away. There's one more couple we learn this most potently from, and that's Princess Bubblegum and Marceline. PB and Marceline had a romantic relationship way back. If you want to know the exact details of the relationship and how that all started, click here to watch the standalone video on it. We first see the true cracks of forgiveness breaking through the emotional distance and wounds in What Was Missing when PB and Marceline are forced to work together to reclaim some stolen items from the Door Lords.
Is that why you always avoid me? That must be such an inconvenience to you. Well,
Marceline feels hurt. She's hurt that PB pushed her away, hurt because of the distance between the two. She even begins to open up about it, begins to confess this to PB in the form of a song. But it's not that easy. Right when you're about to make progress, the door shuts. Quite literally in the case of this episode. She wasn't being emotionally open enough, perhaps. It's a brilliant case of visual storytelling. When Marceline is at her most vulnerable, the door begins to open. But forgiveness doesn't happen in one day. Even this simple act of opening up, however, builds towards a total forgiveness between the two. It's revealed that PB, though she appeared to push Marceline away, still really misses her, and that her most prized possession is something that Marceline gave her.
It's mine! That's mine.
you kept the shirt I gave you?
Yeah. It, means a lot to me.
The next time we see the rift in the relationships heal is in Varmints, where Marcy is helping PB with some, well, varmints. Instantly, we can see that the two still deeply care for each other. Sure, there's still some awkwardness there, but they share memories, and they're working to forgive each other.
Still invisible and yakking red all down the produce aisle. It was awesome.
Hey, you remember that one time?
And those memories serve as a way for the two to bond again. It's not easy to forgive, but when you're forced to work together to reconnect, the facade of bitterness can start to slip. But the best way to reconnect is to simply start talking.
Here, come on. We used to follow the minecart rails. Cracking jokes, telling stories.
The next is owning up to where you went wrong.
I pushed you away. I'm sorry, Marceline. I've been a real dinger to you.
And a lot of openness and willingness to communicate can really help, because the lack of communication is what really killed the relationship in the first place. In the Distant Lands episode, Obsidian, we finally see what the payoff is. It was a long, difficult road, but now their love is stronger than it ever was. One of the most noticeable differences, other than the two being together again, is how they communicate.
I rarely see you this focused.
Thanks, Peebs. Wait, was that a diss?
No, it's admirable. You're so in the zone.
There's no more misunderstanding, because their love is stronger than that. They grew together, and growing together means you learn to work together. So when PB and Marceline end up returning to the place where their first relationship ended, the two struggle, but this time they communicate.
You and me are in a good place now. Well, not right now, obviously.
Even when it seems like they won't survive, they're still together. They're stronger together than ever. Forgiveness takes time, sure, but it can also build us back up stronger. And even the most malicious character in Adventure Time is able to receive forgiveness, as we see in the episode Normal Man. The most malicious character we're talking about is Magic Man, of course. But is he really malicious? Well, we'll actually cover that in a separate episode.
Dude, he lost his powers, remember?
All right. Uh-oh.
But for now, Magic Man has just become Normal Man after losing his powers. But this doesn't stop Finn and Jake from distrusting him. There's a lot of growth that has to happen before he can redeem himself. But whenever he's confronted by the things he did in the past, Normal Man has some difficulty changing.
Tiny always liked you guys.
That's because we freed him from your sick nightmare house.
It's not that anything Jake says here is wrong, but he's bringing up something that's in the past. And Normal Man blames himself for this. When you can't let go, actually changing becomes almost impossible.
You know what, guys? I'll just go up there and let Tiny margle me off a cliff.
You become irrational and think forgiveness is something you can bargain for. How the person you hurt can just reciprocate the same feeling onto you so that you'll be tied in the who hurt who championships. You gave your friend a black eye, let him give you one in return. You cheated on your partner, they get a free pass as well. Yeah, except it doesn't work like that. Normal Man knows this.
I wanted to bring you back to Mars. They need a ruler up there. And I wanted to apologize for being such a bean show for hundreds of years. Whoa, what? Maybe you really have changed.
He doesn't need anyone else to punish him or to doubt him. He truly changes because those around him start to trust him again. But this can be really hard. Tiny Manticore is a great example of this. Throughout the episode, he's hell-bent on revenge. Magic Man tortured him for years, driving him to the brink of insanity and almost breaking him completely. But after exacting his revenge by tossing Normal Man, along with his brother Glob, off the top of Wild Trap Mountain, Tiny realizes something.
I could not go through with my vengeance. It wouldn't have accomplished anything. Also, you and your brother are really sweet together.
Holding Normal Man's feet to the fire isn't going to change anything, because that won't change his behavior. Instead, Tiny Manticore realizes, at the very last second, that Normal Man is changing, and that this change took place when he was left alone. And at the very end, when Normal Man takes his place back on Mars, we get the perfect summary of forgiveness.
It's a start.
That's really all it is. From Normal Man to Princess Bubblegum to Marceline and Finn, forgiveness is not a one-size-fits-all. But Finn is one of the most complex characters in all of Adventure Time, and that's probably why he helps us understand forgiveness so well. From hurting Flame Princess to fighting Fern and mourning what he lost, he grows through forgiveness. Not every relationship is restored. Not all wounds are forgotten. Forgiveness itself is an incredibly complex thing that doesn't always work out as we picture, but Adventure Time teaches us that forgiveness isn't a weakness, it's a way forward. And through forgiveness, we can find a way to move past our mistakes. And speaking of mistakes, I actually have a video on one of the biggest mistakes in Adventure Time, so if you want to see why chasing goals single-mindedly is a mistake and can end in tragedy, check out my video on the Lich and his biggest flaw. Alright, see you in that video, and subscribe, leave us a like. Thanks for watching, I'll see you in the next video.